Welcome to EchoReads.
This is The Prophet by Kahlil Gibran.
Love is often spoken of as joy, but here it is revealed as truth, growth, and surrender.
Now we begin Chapter 1 on Love.
When we usually talk about love, we tend to focus on comfort.
Yeah. On security, or maybe that deep connection that makes us feel stable.
We want it to be our soft place to land.
Exactly. We see it as something that, minimizes struggle. But what if it's something different?
How so?
What if love isn't meant to be just comfortable? What if it's supposed to be demanding, even transformative?
So not a reward you earn or something you manage?
No, more like a force that calls to you.
And it's a call that demands a kind of surrender, even before it starts to give you anything back.
It immediately challenges our need for control. We have to really understand what that call is asking of us if we choose to answer it.
Okay, so let's unpack that. If love is calling, you have to follow.
It's presented as a necessity, not really a choice.
But the path isn't easy. In fact, it's meant to be hard, to challenge everything you think you are.
And that leads directly to a kind of paradox, doesn't it? The surrender paradox.
We think of love as protective, something that shields us.
But here, when this love surrounds you, you're asked to completely surrender to it.
And that surrender includes accepting that pain, maybe even real loss, is part of the deal.
Yes, that it might be hidden within love's embrace.
That really goes against how we think about relationships today, with all the focus on self-preservation, on setting boundaries to minimize risk.
It does.
So why is pain so necessary here? Why can't love just be a blessing?
Because its primary purpose isn't just satisfaction, it's transformation.
It doesn't just come to bless you.
It comes to change you, and for that change to happen, it has to act like a crucible. You have to be refined.
And that refinement isn't just about building you up, it's also about tearing things down.
It is. There's this powerful image of it being like a gardener.
A gardener.
Yes. The force of love lifts you up to your highest heights, toward your full potential.
But at the same time,
It prunes you. It cuts away what's weak, what's false, everything that's holding you back from real growth.
so that pruning, we're talking about cutting away our rigid expectations, our self-protective habits.
Or even the lies we tell ourselves just to stay comfortable. It's a necessary, almost surgical process.
Forcing you to get rid of your weak points so the strong parts, the truth of who you are, can finally flourish.
Exactly. Without that difficult pruning, you can't bear real fruit. The hard road is the only one that leads to the truest version of yourself.
That sounds like a complete reconstruction of your identity.
It is.
And it doesn't just operate on the surface. It touches your most idealized dreams.
But it also goes deeper. Right down to your roots. It shakes everything you cling to for stability.
We all cling to things, don't we? To old habits, to
Yeah.
stories about ourselves.
Even to things that don't work for us anymore. And the goal of that shaking isn't to destroy you,
It's to destabilize the foundations built on sand.
so that you can finally stand on solid truth instead of on fear.
But fear is often what we use to build our defenses. If love strips that away, what's left?
A person in the process of being refined, this love gathers you completely to itself, pulls you out of a scattered existence.
And then there's a stripping away.
A total stripping away. The masks you wear for the world, they're removed. Everything false about you is burned away.
That sounds incredibly vulnerable. Painful even. You're exposed not just to love, but to the unvarnished truth of yourself.
It is, but it's described as a softening, a reshaping. It's through that struggle, through that fire, that you're remade into something whole.
The transformation only happens through the difficulty. The trial is mandatory.
Yes.
So if the cost is that kind of self-exposure, that fire, what's the reward? What does all that refinement actually get you?
The payoff is immense, but it's internal. The whole point of the process is so that you can finally, truly know your own heart.
Without all the interference from fear and lies.
And through that deep self-knowing, you connect to life itself, to a universal foundational sense of being.
The personal transformation has a universal result,
Precisely.
which makes it sound worthwhile. But then there's a very serious warning, isn't there? A huge caveat.
There is, if, out of fear, you decide you only want love's peace.
The comfort, the stability, the parts that don't threaten you.
And you refuse the trials, the challenges.
Then it's better to just turn away completely.
It forces you to really question your commitment. If you only want the benefit without the discipline, love just can't do its work.
It can't complete you.
No. And the result of refusing is a kind of halfway existence.
You might laugh, but not with your whole being. You might cry, but not from the depths of your soul.
You'll live, but not wholly. That's the price of choosing comfort over transformation.
And this leads us from the individual experience to the pure essence of love itself,
Yes, that it's completely self-sufficient. It doesn't need anything outside of itself to be complete.
which means it exists outside of our usual ideas of transaction or possession.
Love gives nothing but itself and takes nothing but from itself.
It's a powerful idea about non-attachment.
It doesn't possess, and it cannot be possessed, because it is enough, all on its own.
So the moment you try to cage it, to own it, or to manage it for your own security,
You've already lost its true power, which leads to a really profound shift you have to make.
which is,
You cannot believe, even for a second, that you can guide love.
but we want to. We want to be in control of our emotions, our destiny.
Of course. But the idea here is that love, if it finds you worthy of this trial, will guide you.
You have to submit to its deeper, transformative purpose.
Because in the end, love has no purpose beyond itself. It fulfills itself just by being love.
We have to let go of our need to give it an external goal, like, I don't know, building a family or fulfilling a social role.
And accept that its purpose is internal, self-contained.
Okay, so if we can't control it, and we shouldn't even try to guide it, what should our attitude be? What can we even desire?
Well, there are some beautiful, very demanding intentions laid out, almost like vows.
The first being,
To give freely, to constantly pour yourself out without keeping a tally of what you give or what you get back.
which completely counters that transactional mindset.
Completely. And second, to feel deeply,
It's unreservedly.
meaning you accept the whole spectrum of emotions, even when it leads to pain. Yes, the commitment is to the richness of the experience itself, not just the pleasant parts.
And then there's the hardest one, I think, to be wounded by understanding.
To see the truth of a situation, the flaws, the difficulties, no matter how painful that truth is.
And still consciously choose to love. That's the real commitment to truth we were talking about earlier.
It is. And once those intentions are in place, the practice of this kind of love becomes a daily ritual.
So it's not sustained by grand gestures?
No, it's sustained by a quiet, constant discipline. A discipline rooted in gratitude and reflection.
It starts the moment you wake up.
Yes, you wake each day grateful for another chance to engage in this difficult, transformative love. It's a choice you make before the day has even begun.
That's so important. It reframes everything. You're not waking up to endure the day, but to participate in it.
Exactly. And then in the quiet moments of the day, you're meant to pause and reflect on love's joy.
We often focus on the struggle when we talk about transformation.
But this insists on savoring the gift, too. It makes sure the discipline doesn't just become bitter.
And the ritual continues when the day ends.
You return home at night with gratitude already in your heart. You're not waiting for something good to happen to feel it.
It becomes your default state, thankful for the experience, good or bad.
And the final act is reflection. Falling asleep with a prayer for the one you love.
And a quiet song of thanks on your lips.
It's a full circle: morning choice, daytime reflection, evening gratitude. That cycle is what fuels the transformation.
So love is presented as this complete, self-sustaining entity of profound change.
One that demands you accept both the incredible joy and the necessary pain.
It's not a search for comfort then. It's a dedication to becoming whole. And the most important thing to take away from this isn't just about how to love, but how to reposition yourself in relation to, well, to everything.
There's that final provocative shift in perspective.
That when you love, you shouldn't say, God is in my heart.
You should say, instead, I am in the heart of God.
That changes everything.
It really does. It removes the individual from the center of the universe and places them inside this greater, vast force.
Accepting that you're being guided by it, rather than trying to contain it.
And that right there is the foundation of true surrender.